Cryptids, creatures whose existence can neither be confirmed nor denied and are fairly elusive to people. Luckily for me, they're all listed on Wikipedia, so let's take a look. Alright, so these are all pretty normal, there's nothing really here to see. Wait, what's this? Loveland Frogman. Mothman, Loch Ness Monster, Sasquatch, what do these guys all have in common? They're all pretty lame. I mean, who cares about these outplayed losers that everybody's heard about? Let's take a look at some real cryptids. The Loveland Frogman is exactly what it sounds like. It's a frog man standing about roughly 4 feet tall, and according to one account, was even seen with a magic wand. So where does this magic man reside? In none other than the state of Ohio. More precisely, the city of Loveland, which it's named after, I'm guessing, because they really have nothing noteworthy going on over there. And I'm not kidding when I say this, but they also have an entire festival dedicated to this guy, complete with a costume parade. But that's besides the point. His first sightings occurred in the mid to late 50s, going into the late 70s, and even the most recent encounter happening in 2016. The first sighting of this whimsical fellow was in 1955, where a businessman named Robert Honeycutt was driving home from work when he spotted 3 frog-like specimens sitting on 2 legs which appeared to be talking to each other, while one of them pulled out a wand which, according to him, was sparkling, which for some reason caused him to flee the scene. So you're telling me that this man just sees some magical frogs lighting up and he just decides to leave? Don't let this dude near sparklers because he's gonna get those frogman flashbacks. So we finally get to the good stuff. These next accounts are both from cops, and technically it's multiple encounters, but I'm just gonna name them as one and keep them in the same category because they both happened within like a short span of each other, so I'm just gonna count them as one. The first sighting with the boys in blue was in the year 1972 on March 3rd. It was around 1 a.m. when the officer, who chose to remain anonymous for obvious reasons, was driving along the Riverside Road heading towards Loveland. While cruising on the road due to black ice, he saw what looked like to be a dog on the side of the road. The figure then darted in front of the officer's cruiser in a crouched position. The officer was forced to slam on the brakes, and now that his lights were illuminating the creature, he was finally able to see it, which it then stood up and faced the officer before quickly darting into the guardrail and jumping into the Ohio River. After this encounter, other officers went to go check out the place where it was seen, and they allegedly saw scratch marks on the guardrails.
2 weeks later.
2 weeks after this encounter, another officer named Mark Matthews was also driving towards Loveland when, similar to the other encounter, a creature was in the middle of the road, which, now covered in the light from the headlights of the car, stood up from a crouched position, to which Officer Matthews immediately opens fire upon it. He manages to injure it, but does not kill it. The creature in its injured state again jumps over the guardrail, disappearing into the night. He would later go on to claim that the reason he shot it was to validate the story of his colleague who first reported it. He would also say that the story that was told was blown out of proportion and it was a tailless iguana which appeared in front of his squad car. Now, I'm not too sure if that really makes a whole lot of sense to any of you people, but I don't think anybody's first reaction to seeing a tailless iguana in the middle of the road is to immediately hop out of your squad car and mag dump the thing. The latest known encounter happened when 2 teenagers were playing Pokemon Go in the Cincinnati area, so that's how you know it's fairly old. This happened in 2016. They were apparently taking a picture of the frogman, but due to the location where the picture was taken, it's being called a hoax, and many have said that it's nothing but a garden statue with light bulbs for eyes. And I'm not surprised that that was probably the last encounter, so-called encounter of the frogman, because if I was a frogman and I apparently just was in the middle of the road minding my own business, and then I got mag dumped, I don't think I'd want to show my face much more in that area. But anyways, that has been the history of the lesser known Loveland Frogman. Thank you for watching the video, and thank you to my 16 subscribers. You guys are the real ones.
Ay, hijo de tu chingada madre. Así te quería agarrar, cabrón, ¿eh?
Ey,
¿Qué estás haciendo?
ey, tranquilo, güey.
¿Cómo que tranquilo? ¿Qué estás haciendo?